What's up, YouTube? This is the TheRamsayRidgeRunner bringing you my 7th black and white Wi-Fi battle. This one is versus the Mr. Shadowblaze. I'll warn you ahead of time, I didn't play very well in this one, and also I managed yet again to cut off the top of the screen when I recorded this. So this isn't the best quality. You can still more or less see the screen. You can still barely see the health bar, so it's still there. But anyway, I'm leading off with Jolteon. He leads off Tentacruel. I'm going to just Volt Switch right out of there, expecting him to want to switch. But he stays in and goes for the Toxic Spikes while I bring in Dragonair. And thinking that he's probably going to want to set up a second layer of Toxic Spikes, I'm just going to go for a Dragon Dance right off the bat. And I know setting up early is usually frowned upon, and this is another case where it probably didn't work out too well for me. So I decided to go for another Dragon Dance, predicting his switch, because I didn't think he could really do anything to me. But he stayed in and went for the Scald, and actually he's going to get the burn. But the awesome thing is that Dragonair has Shed Skin, and he shed it right away. So that was awesome. So I went for an Extreme Speed, thinking that I could take it out from that range, but I couldn't, which goes to show that he probably invested some in defense, because Dragonair is not super strong, but 2 Dragon Dance is a lot. So I'm going for a third one. He's just going to Scald me. It's not doing a lot. If you haven't already probably figured out, Dragonair has the Eviolite as an item. However, he is a attacking spread with the Eviolite with a little bit of HP investment. So I go for 2 more Dragon Dances and decided to go for the Extreme Speed and kill it off. At this point in time, I knew he wasn't really going to do anything to me, so I should have kept using those Dragon Dances. I should have got 2 more because I knew he had this Registeel. And I'm going to use Aqua Tail, and just barely under half damage. So if I got those extra Dragon Dances up, I could have 2-hit KO'd this Registeel, which I can't now. And that's why setting up is just a bad idea, because now I'm going to lose my Dragonair, who probably, if I had waited later into the game, or if I just set up those 2 extra Dragon Dances, would have swept his whole team. So I'm just going to bring in Gliscor, knowing he can't really do anything to me. I'm going to be faster, just finish him off with Earthquake, and this is a great opportunity for me to set up my Toxic Orb. And here's going to be my first major not paying attention of the game. He sends in Virizion, and totally forgetting that they're often special, I just left Gliscor in. I was going to fling it at my Toxic Orb, but it obviously has Hidden Power Ice and just takes me out right out. And here's another pretty dumb play. So I decided to put in Ferrothorn. Luckily, he's going to use Calm Mind while I use Spikes, and then I realized that he's a fighting type, and I'm going to switch out my Ferrothorn because this is a terrible matchup for me. And so I decided to go into Jolteon. Even though he can't really do much, I don't want to risk any of my other guys getting killed on the switch against this Virizion, because it's at +2 special attack and special defense, and I'm thinking now it could really be a dangerous threat and take out my team because I wasn't paying attention. I do get the Pair Hacks here, which is not going to matter at all, because he's going to be able to get the Focus Blast off on my Jolteon and kill me off easy. And then, now that my Jolteon died, I can bring in Latios to revenge it with Psyshock, which I carry for, reasons like this. Since Psyshock goes off his defense, his raised special defense doesn't affect the move, and it easily takes him out. So now he makes a great play and brings in Zoroark. I'm going to definitely switch out because I'm Choice Scarfed. I obviously can't do anything, so I'm going to bring in Ferrothorn, predicting the Dark-type move, Dark Pulse and Night Daze, and that works out pretty well for me. And then he's going to switch out, and I believe I'm going to just go for the Gyro Ball. I know he's really fast, and I'm just going to try to get some damage. But then he brings in his Crobat, which works out well for me too, because Crobat's a very fast Pokemon as well. So I believe this turn I'm just going to stay in and go for a Gyro Ball again. His team is pretty fast, and I know a Gyro Ball can do a lot to anything. But he's just going to U-turn out, which is probably a smart play, and he's going to bring in Salamence, which is going to get the Intimidate off on me. And, that's a good move. Plus, Ferrothorn doesn't have the greatest attacking stats, but then again, Salamence isn't the best defensively. So I'm going to fear the Fire Blast, thinking it's Mixed Ments and bringing Heatran, but he's just going to go for a Dragon Dance, probably predicting the switch, which was a smart move. And he's just going to go for a second Dragon Dance, while I believe I'm going to set up Torment. Yes, I do. Because this is Torment-Tran. I love Torment-Tran. One of my favorite pokes to use. So I'm just going to protect, predicting anything, pretty much. And so he uses Earthquake, but I had the Air Balloon, so I don't know why he did that. And now he's going to reveal that he has Roost, while I set up a substitute. And so this is pretty good. I'm out of this pretty good. At this point in time, I still kind of thought he had Fire Blast, and I don't know why. That wouldn't have really made any sense. So he reveals that he has Dragon Claw, and he's going to break my Air Balloon. I'm going to use Lava Plume and get a burn, which is pretty awesome. You know, people say that's hacksy, but that's why you use Lava Plume. It's got a 30% chance. So I'm going to protect this turn, thinking that he's going to try to go for Earthquake, but he goes for Dragon Dance. I don't know if we predict that, or I just want to get the extra boost because I've lowered his attack power. And so this turn, I believe I'm going to go for Lava Plume again, predicting to set up again or to use Roost. But he just goes straight for the Earthquake, which is a good play on his part. And that takes out my Heatran, even though I lowered his attack with a burn, but he's got at least 3 Dragon Dances. So it's not very surprising that he killed my Heatran, especially since he's specially defensive, not defensive. So now I'm going to bring in Ferrothorn. Now he's going to Roost. And get up to a little bit more than half HP, almost 3/4. And I'm just going to go for Gyro Ball, which is going to do quite a lot of damage, especially since he's got multiple Dragon Dances. And the burn is going to almost take him out. He's going to use Earthquake, which, with the burn, I expected it to do less, but then, yet again, I realized he's got all those Dragon Dances up. And so my attack obviously was going to miss. And then now, I was really confused here because I assumed this was his actual Crobat. So I left in Ferrothorn, but it turns out to be Zoroark. But he already sent in his Zoroark once, and it wasn't Crobat. He sent it out as Zoroark, so that really threw me for a loop. And so now, all I have left is Latios, and he has Crobat and Zoroark. So he's going to switch out his Zoroark into his Crobat, who he knows he has less life, and he's hoping that his Zoroark can take a -2 special attack Draco from that health, but he still couldn't. So I ended up winning the game 1-0. It was a great game. Thanks, Mr. Shadowblaze, for playing me. There was a little bit of, you know, not paying attention, but it was a good game otherwise. So if you liked it, like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out, guys.